Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Best teammates.
3 out of 4 ain't bad. Hello, boys.
G'day, Rosie. Rosalie. As you can hear,
It's weird,
Rosie's at home.
Can you hear that?
Well, yeah, because every time you talk, it just screams, I'm at home. Yeah.
Oh, really? No, I'm like, oh, do I need to fix my home studio?
No.
No, okay. Okay, great. There's a slight delay, as I was telling you boys, so if I sound like I'm a bit slower than usual, that's why.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
No, that's the last time you're allowed to do that.
Well, it's only the 5th time we've done it today.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, I'm pretty sure the Jared Walsh part of this podcast is in Melbourne with the Boomers doing their showcase matches.
Oh yeah, they're playing basketball at the moment. There's a lot of Australian sport going on at the moment.
Yeah, there is. A lot of big stuff.
A lot of international sport. The Matildas are on tonight.
They are. And we know I work in radio. Well, I have worked in radio a long time. This morning I was the guest who had to talk about the event because I'm going to be down at the Fan Festival, mostly because Jared can't do it because he's in Melbourne. And it was weird. I didn't like it, guys. I don't like being the person being interviewed. I was very nervous.
Why not? What'd they ask you?
Just like, when's the event? How's it going?
You like tonight?
Yeah, like basic stuff. And I was like, it's the ABC, so how fun and boisterous can I be?
Well, I guess you can't swear. You can't talk about like just politics. You can't talk about anything, can you? Just like very, very general in your answers.
I really wanted to talk about all those things.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
The semi-final against England tonight.
You're like, yes, this is a game of sport being played here tonight.
What's your thoughts on the public holiday thing?
I don't think we need one.
No, I agree.
And I'm so happy and I want them to win and I'm so nervous about tonight, but there's other ways to celebrate.
But where does it end? Like at what Crows or Port win a flag? Oh, let's have a public holiday.
It is basically politics. People trying to be cool like Bob Hawke back in the day with the what is it?
If you sack a guy for not going to work, you're a bum.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. And they think that's worthy, but in actual fact, you'll make the whole economy go under and people lose hundreds of dollars a day if they're casual workers. If they're business owners, they lose a lot of cash. They lose work. I had a very good, strong conversation with Con at the Brighton Trophy Centre yesterday about it over a scotch.
At 8:30 a.m.
Yeah, at 8:30 a.m. Yeah, and then I helped him make 7 trophies, and we had to change them all at the end of the day because they didn't look like trophies when we built them because we had so much scotch.
You were so blind.
I think this thing's upside down. It's a netball trophy and there's a soccer ball on top.
That would be forgiven in the midst of Matilda fandom. No, and I heard the idea of like a parade in every city, which probably wouldn't happen because these are athletes who have careers outside of the World Cup. But something like that would mean more than having a day off because then you just stay home and hang out by yourself. And the best thing to do is to celebrate with everyone else.
I love a public holiday. Don't get me wrong.
I hate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
When you work for yourself, you hate them because it's one less day you get to actually make some cash.
Yeah, true.
Cold hard cash, as you would say in radio, Rosie. But why
did they always say cold hard cash?
Because it just gets you in the soul. You're like,
it's cold hard. Like, what if I like
cold.
warm soft cash? Like
warm soft
cash doesn't have the same
vibe. Sounds like it's like slimy and left in hot water for a bit and came out of someone's pocket.
Yeah, that's right.
There must be a reason though. Maybe it's got to do with the fact that it comes from like the vaults and the vaults are cold and they come in wads and I don't know.
No, also the voiceover it was just perfect for like cold hard cash.
We said that together then if you can't tell our voices apart.
We are in sync.
We are. Bye.
Once a month we look at each other and we're like, it's time. Are you right there, Rosie? You're freaking out.
You look like you're a mime in a box.
Yeah, you are.
The sound is coming in and out, so I'm not getting all the jokes. But I'll have to listen back to the podcast like I always do and then get them.
They're funny.
Yeah, okay.
Trust me, they're funny. Do you know what we should do? We should break down sayings like, cold hard cash. Like, what does that mean? Where does it come from?
Yeah.
Better than sliced bread.
I mean, sliced bread's pretty good when it's hot out of the oven.
But is it the best? What was the best thing before that?
Non-sliced bread. Maybe they just ate that loaf and let it spit straight into it. What do you reckon, Rosie?
Just ripped it with their hands.
Yeah, that's the Italian way, isn't it?
That's a pull apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Baker's Delight. They're the ones that turn that into a thing, I reckon. They're like, what do we call this thing? We're not going to cut it. We don't want to pay people to cut this shit. What we're going to sell it as?
Yeah,
sell it as a pull apart.
Pull apart.
Yeah.
Just sell it as whole, and they can just rip it with their hands and dip it in some weird stuff.
Yeah, let's put some pizza topping on it. There's a pizza one. Yeah.
Or some Vegemite.
Yeah. Yeah. What have you been up to, Rosie?
There's been some soccer. There's been some baby stuff. Actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't want to bring the podcast down.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Yeah,
But-
bring it down.
There you go. Just do it.
I went.
Let's go on a
to-
roller coaster of podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a funeral. It was a memorial last week. That was so brilliant, which is a weird thing to say. So the woman who passed away, she was the grandmother of my brother-in-law. She decided to make her own obituary. So she filmed this massive film 3 years ago, and she broadcast it at her own memorial at the Capri Theatre, just on, is it the parade up there? Yeah, so we sat there and her grandkids all spoke about her, and then they pushed play and she was like, "Hi everyone, welcome to my funeral." And it was so amazing, and it makes sense. She's this eclectic woman. She's like, her name is Barty Simpson. So her parents her great grandparents started the Penfolds winery. So she's quite an eclectic.
Did you say her name was Bart Simpson?
Woman. Barty, Bardi.
Oh.
So yeah, she's part of the Penfolds family, and it was just amazing. Like,
Did it
I don't
change
think
the
I've
mood?
ever heard that happen before. It was enlightening and jovial, and she made jokes, and she was dressed as a fairy, and it was just the most beautiful thing ever.
Did everyone get a glass of Grange on the way in?
Yeah, there wasn't Grange, there was wine and popcorn and
It's not a celebratory.
Let's bust out the best
Grange.
Yeah, pop it out. Yeah, celebrations time. There's more Grange for all of us now.
I can just imagine though, like that would change the mood and go from like a funeral to a celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what she wanted. And it was strange because it looked like she was right there, just larger than life. But
How long did it go for?
it was just special. The movie itself went for probably about 15 minutes.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
jeepers.
that's a
It's
big,
comprehensive.
That's a big production.
Yeah.
It was, she did like tours of her life.
Does she have
and
a fucking film crew
property.
there, or is it just
Yeah.
like on an iPhone?
Is it like a
Selfie mode.
documentary like Will
Right.
Sparks going on tour and they have like a
Is it
videographer
like
with them the whole time?
MTV Cribs or
Yeah.
something? Like,
Or when the Stafford brothers had their show?
Then she had like little segments with her grandkids playing golf, and it was very.
Did she do the thing where like
It was
at the end it was
very
like who's getting the money? And like, if you're
Made it like a game show?
if you're an A10, you've won yourself $1,000. If you're in seat A10,
if you're in pew 3, seat 5,
you get
Maybe
nothing.
if she was in radio,
You get
she
a bowl
would
of
have done that.
Grange.
Like, there's a lucky dip under your seat.
Yeah. If you're out the
No.
back, you get some hot chips on the way out.
I just feel like more people should do that. It was very cool.
make it a celebration of life rather than sort of like a sad event.
Yeah, nothing worse than going to a
Yeah.
funeral.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you. I'm going to head off. That's me done for the day.
Yeah.
Andy, why do we look red right now?
Just because we're embarrassed to be here. No, I don't know. It's like, I think it's the camera on my phone.
Right.
It highlights the blood inside of you.
It does, doesn't it? It sees right through our pale skin.
Yeah, the bit of Irish comes out.
Do we look red, Rosie?
Well, I can't see.
Oh, you still
Oh,
can't see
yeah,
us.
no, she's been drinking again.
I'm going to take your word for it.
What have you been doing, Andy?
You know what? I've been hanging out. I hung out all day yesterday, like I said, with Con and Lena at the Brighton Trophy Centre.
Yep.
Spoke about their son, Tom.
Yep.
Doing huge
How's
things.
he going?
He's doing really well.
Good.
I don't know. Have you guys worked together yet?
No.
Okay, you should.
Okay.
So he's doing really good things in music production.
Yep.
As in producing music for people and stuff like that.
He's doing some stuff for Spotify.
Yeah, he went over there with his trip to Los Angeles?
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And did some stuff over there. But yeah, turns out he's been doing really, really good. So I can't wait to see how he progresses in the future.
Yep.
He looks like Drake half the time.
Right.
So I get that vibe that that's what he's going to turn into.
He's just going to roll down that path.
Yeah.
At Connolina, they would be flat out at the moment.
Stanky leg in all the time.
Sorry, Rosie?
There's just stanky leg in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No, not to be confused with a stinky leg. That can happen on the weekend when you eat too much stuff and a bit hungover when you go get your family meal deal from Hungry Jack's to try to cure that hangover and then all things go bad. But
True.
What was your question?
I can't even remember now. Oh, Connolina would be super busy right now, wouldn't they? End of footy season, end of soccer season.
Yeah. They're getting the old winter trophies happening and still doing like all sorts of other stuff as well. So it's good to see them being so successful in the awards industry.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Maddie, you've played footy your whole life practically, yeah?
Yeah.
So how many trophies did you accumulate over your time? Because Christopher's mum has tried to collect them and give them to him now because she doesn't want them in her house anymore. And I'm like, I don't want these either.
I had the same conversation with my mum on Monday about because I've got
no way.
Yeah, I've got all my old sporting trophies at their place still.
Yeah. All the participation awards and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you get to like from say, under 8s through to under 16s, like everyone gets one. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how shit you are, you get one.
Yeah.
So you accumulate a few through that. And then if you happen to win some premierships, you get your premiership medals. And if you happen to get best and fairest, you win, extra trophies on top of that. But yeah, I was the same as I said to Mum, I was like, I don't really know what to do. I don't really want them. But then she said, well, why don't you keep them and you can show them to Ollie when he gets a bit older and then they might actually mean something. So,
well, yeah, could you make a trophy cabinet at home?
You could, but you'd be a wanker.
Yeah, that's true. Like as you open the door, you look down the hallway and it's like a US college where it's just glass.
Or when people come to your house for the first time. So this is our dining room. This is where, the home theatre. Oh, and here's a shrine of me.
Yeah.
It's not very fucking wankerish, is it?
I'd go in there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I probably will take them, and I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe when Ollie starts playing sport, we'll put a big thing together. And
this is more a question for Connolina, or it could be you as well. When you win a best and fairest, or whatever, you know how there's like a massive trophy that you get your name engraved on.
Yeah.
Do you get another trophy or a smaller trophy to compensate for not having the big one? Because it's usually one.
You might get a medallion or something.
Oh, yeah.
You might get a little medal that you can take home, but you'll definitely get something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what you'll get at the Brighton Trophy Centre,
That's
thanks
right,
to Connolina. Mate, you Rosie, how'd you go for trophies growing up?
I've never got a trophy.
Oh.
Here's a story for you. So I played SAPSASA footy in year 7. And, in SAPSASA, you have to bill it. So you have to go to the country somewhere, and normally it's somewhere really shit.
Yeah, I remember all the SAPSASA games getting played at school, and it was like the best thing ever because you didn't have to go back to school after lunch.
Yeah.
You just sit and watch it.
You just go, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to bill it out of Port Pirie.
Oh, wow.
All right, and my guy lived about 15 minutes out of Port Pirie on a big property.
Yeah.
And I remember his mum telling me that he had never won a trophy before, so he rolled himself into town and went and bought himself one. Well, there's one way to look successful, isn't it? Fake it till you make it.
What would you put in your trophy right now, Rosie? If you're going to buy one.
What would I put into?
Like, why would you win one?
Put on my trophy?
Mother of the Year.
Why would I win one?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's probably not going to be mine.
Nicolette's mother.
Panetta Hall of Fame.
Poff.
Nicoletta's favourite person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll get that one.
What about something
hard to lose that
skill based?
Yeah.
Like that. Obviously,
I don't think
mothering
I
is
have
being
any
a skill.
skills. I think that's why I've really not had any. I tried everything in school. Like I literally played a little bit of everything.
Oh, rugby.
Would you ever buy
I played rugby. Yep. Played netball. Played soccer.
Would you ever buy Chris one of those like fake trophies? It's like Husband of the Year.
Oh yeah, I got one of them, but obviously that was fucking useless.
Oh, you've ruined my father's idea. Actually,
what do you do with those trophies
idea.
you get given from a previous relationship? Do you bin them or do you keep them? I mean, Con made it, so I kept it.
Well, I think if Con made it, it holds some sort of sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
Excuse
husband
me,
of the year, but
can we go back a step?
yeah.
Did you? Who got it?
No, I got Dad of the Year.
Got a Husband of the Year trophy.
No, I got a Dad of the Year one.
Well, that's still relevant.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is. But, I look at it and see pain every single time I see the trophy. So, no, I'm just kidding. Things are well. No, I like bringing it up every episode. Yeah, it's good.
Speaking of dad life,
Yeah.
last week, Matty,
Oh, God, what's
you
that?
almost freaking stopped breathing. Oh, that's a toy. Sorry, I'm at home playing with the babies on the floor.
Oh, baby toys. Okay.
When did I stop
It's
breathing?
a baby toy.
Before you went to hospital.
You had the whole
Oh, my throat
throat
thing.
issue?
Oh, yeah.
and now your kid's got a throat issue.
No, my kid has
What are you-
hand,
what's
foot,
going
and
on
mouth
in the-
disease.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said it.
Yeah.
My
Daycare.
household sounds fun right now, mate.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. It's real sanitary.
Is there like one of those posters at the front of the childcare centre where they're like, hey, we've got everything at the
No,
moment?
do you know what they do? They send you emails.
Ah.
And so, like, you get an email one week saying, we've got 4 confirmed cases of RSV. And then the next week we've got 4 confirmed cases of hand, foot, and mouth. And it's funny because Kira and I both get them. And we both screenshot them and we send them to each other at the same time. We're like, fucking sick.
Yeah, who's going to just take care of this for the next week?
Yeah. So
You're like, my throat's closing up, I'll do it.
it's funny because he only goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when things come through on Thursday, we're like sucked in.
Yeah.
Spewing.
Write it out.
Yeah, just write it out, buddy. Yeah. So no, it's interesting. It's I don't think he's gone a full 3 days and not picked anything up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they say it gets better after a year, and they reckon it's not as bad through summer. So, bring on the warm weather.
Yeah, true. I know, like, my girls, after being sick heaps at childcare, sort of chilled out for them, and it's only every now and then.
Yeah.
But, and it's not really anything hardcore. Like, when they were younger, it's like, off to hospital, RSV.
Yeah.
but
Awesome. Yeah. Croup.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Something to look forward to there for you, Rosie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to juggle the whole working and just use Christopher when I need him.
Best
And I was
piece of
thinking about
advice, Rosie.
childcare, but every time I talk to you, I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to.
Find something you can do from home, and you don't have to send her to daycare.
Yeah. Or can you take
I
her to
think
the
I can
radio
do it at
station and
home.
have her in the corner?
But I mean, potentially, I'm going to go back next weekend. Woo woo.
Maybe use her as a prize.
The studio was glass, so I could put her on. I could put her on the other side of the glass and just keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, no one would hear her cry.
Just take a porta cot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when I used to do
Sure.
shifts, I'd have people in there with me. So, I mean, they weren't babies, but
They're producers and stuff.
yeah.
Change her nap or
Yeah, women at
rock
the time.
them to sleep.
Women at the time. Or New Year's Eve.
Oh, there's so many stories. Anyway, so you're going to be back on SAFM? Is that the station?
Yeah, September. I'm going to go back and pretend like I haven't forgotten everything in 6 months of having time off.
What shift?
I'll be back to Saturday morning, so Christopher can be with the baby.
Yeah,
I
just
can
talking to the mic there, Rosie. That's
Oh,
one
sorry,
thing you have to
sorry.
do.
Start practicing
Yeah.
now.
Do you know, is there any differences between the old SAFM and what it is now? Like, is it still fresh hits and like no more than 2 ads in a row sort of style, or is it they're different?
Is it called SAFM still?
Yeah, how things change, like, liners change and like we've changed our music. No.
Is it still Ed Sheeran followed by Taylor Swift followed by Ed Sheeran?
Look, I don't know yet, guys. I haven't got a music log as of yet.
I'd be asking for one.
But
Guys, I just want to get prepped.
Yeah, I just want to know if I'm pronouncing Ed right.
Yeah.
I like that you said fresh hits and throwbacks. That's Nova.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because
And I
it's
had,
all the
on
same.
the weekend, actually, Jared and I had to introduce Nova to the Port Adelaide Footy Club.
Oh, the 2 most qualified people to do it whatsoever, like with a good passion behind it as well.
And I was like, both of us were like, obviously we still don't feel great about the station that made us redundant.
Well, no, I don't think.
I mean, you just
Anyway.
left the microphone. You obviously don't like it.
And so,
You don't like us either.
and so it was a real fight as to who was going to introduce the breakfast shows activation. Clearly,
You did it.
Jared White and I had to do it.
So, were you just general in your speak, or did you get some passion behind it? You're like, here's a radio station.
I did my job
Activation.
and I read the script.
So you're
I
professional.
did- Yep, I'm a professional human.
Did you do the thing where you look at the camera, where you say it, and then you like touch your nose because you're lying, or you look to the right because you're lying? Like, I love this station. Look, like,
Or I was like, nails in my hands, drawing blood. No, it was fine. I kept professional because
When
that's
you're
who I
gagging
am.
every second word, you're like, no.
Speaking of radio stations, this new one that we're building is going great guns. This talkback one.
Yeah. How do I get a show on that?
You pay me. We're just working that out right now, actually.
All right.
Trying to work out what the deal is.
I'd be good value on talkback, I reckon. I used to love listening. So when I'd finish DJ sets, right? So it's sort of like 5:30, 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I'd listen to 5AA on the way home.
Yeah. Because that's the perfect time. Say the 5 o'clock to 5:50, whenever they finish the night shift. They're struggling hard, so that's the perfect time. Or they've just had to like try to get all the way through, and then they're at the end. All the oldies have pretty much gone to sleep. 6 o'clock's when the new ones wake up.
Yeah,
and that's a new show, so they're just like, I've got no content. I've read the newspaper 3 times. I've said the time fucking 8 times. I'm just hoping that someone rings up with a brain.
And then you get the people who have just finished their night calling through, and they're just
they're angry, they're tired.
Some of the stuff that, and I know they don't have. Well, a lot of the times when I'd listen, they would just literally say, "Just give us a ring and talk about whatever you fucking want to talk about."
Yeah.
And some of the topics that these older people would bring up was staggering. And it was through the like stages of water restrictions and people complaining about not being able to water their gardens enough. And having this one guy rang up and he's like, I have to water my garden at night and I have to wear a headlamp. And the poor bloke at 5AA did so well to stay engaged in it. Yeah, it was fucking funny.
Tell me more about it. Like, and then because what used to happen is there was some night shift guys that would they weren't on full time. They're just like filling a shift here and there. And what they do is, they'd be by themselves. They don't have a producer. They don't have anyone taking calls or anything like that. So they're going to do it themselves. So it's a long shift.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot out of you. And what they used to do, they used to know, like either have a little black book of some, a Rosie they could call on when they need to fill some time. Yeah. So
regulars.
Yep. Some regulars and they knew they could talk. So what they would do is they'd be like, hey, Marjorie, I'll call you in 10 minutes. No worries. And then 10 minutes later they call. Marjorie goes on and they're like, all right, so thanks for coming on, Marjorie. Talk about the water restrictions. And they would literally just turn their mic off, go to the toilet while Marjorie just goes on for 10 minutes about water restrictions. And then sometimes you just, are you there? And then they just keep talking because they didn't get a response. And they would come back from a toilet after, and then sit down and continue on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is very bold. I
That
rate
is
it though.
bold.
Yeah, it was a few announcers used to do that. Not
Power
just one
move.
as well. Yeah.
I reckon.
When in doubt, get Marjorie out, as they say.
When you got to pee, call Marjorie.
There we go.
Yes.
You got one, Matty?
It's just me. Now here's Marjorie.
Yeah, nice one. I'll give that one a. There we go. Everyone's a winner.
When you got to poo, call Drew.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. When you want to wank, call Frank.
What would Frank do for you? I don't know. Hopefully just keep talking. Yeah. Oh, yeah, keep talking, Frank. Keep talking.
Sorry. No, surely not.
Yeah, Nicoletta's there.
She's not wearing headphones though, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, she thought it was funny. Look at
What's
her. She's
Uncle
laughing.
Matty saying?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Earmuffs.
And who's Frank? And
I've got headphones.
is it
You can't hear
Uncle
anything.
Frank? Surely there's a Frank in your family.
There's definitely a couple.
Yeah.
Francesco.
There's about 3. Yeah. 4. There's 4. Yeah.
Go through the whole
Yep.
Panetta family tree. There's
Yeah.
4. Any Marjories?
No Marjories, bizarrely enough.
What would be the most common name in your family?
It's Maria
Oh, yeah, Maria. Yeah.
No, it's Maria.
Yeah.
and Dominic,
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
because my nonna and nonna were called Maria and Domenica.
Okay.
So there's lots of Marias and Dominics.
How we going footy-wise there, Matty?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We had a bad loss on the weekend.
Oh, good. All right, next caller. How bad is a bad loss?
Oh, no. Well, we only lost by 4 points, but it was to one of the bottom teams. It was a game we were expected to win, and we just didn't show up. So
What do you do at the end? Just start a fight?
yeah, just punch them all in the face.
Just punch on?
No. It's interesting. Like there's
Just punch them all in the face.
there's a fine line between getting angry and just what I do. I've worked it out. No. It's the old. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Have you worked out, like, do you just get ChatGPT out and, like, get a few different versions of that for the end of the game so you can keep on going?
Pretty much, yeah. I just try and think in my head, just cliches.
Do you do the whole yelling thing? I know we've asked you this before, but I need to refresh.
I have a couple of times. I try not to. I reckon through a season, I give myself three yells.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I reckon after a while they'll stop responding to it.
Yeah, and those yells, do they, like, because you're giving yourself three, are they pretty full on? Do they go over the line?
Yeah, they're comprehensive. Yeah, I get personal.
Yeah, abusive.
Yeah, abusive. Yeah. So, no, I don't really. It's more, I'll never yell at an individual. It's at them as a collective group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and only if it's
and
something.
I think there's something to be said of leaders who decide that's their style, that yelling.
Like I said, every now and then it's okay, but if you overdo it, they just stop responding to it. So
yeah, no, I get that. Speaking of footy players, and last weekend, how'd you go at Red Square?
Oh, that was an experience.
Oh.
Yeah, dusted the headphones off for a once off.
Start from the beginning of the evening. So you finished your footy game.
Finished footy.
You guys have lost in a really poor effort.
Yeah.
That means you didn't have to give them drinks though. So that
yeah, well, I was ready to go home. I was at the point where I was like, just give me the fuck home. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's a long drive.
It is a long drive, but went to presentation. So we had, after match at the club. And
what'd you present? The wooden spoon?
Yeah, the 5 worst players on the ground. No. So we did it, stayed professional, just like Rosie when she's talking about Nova. They just hung around basically. Got into Reds about 11. I had to play 12:30 to 1:30.
Yep.
And it was good. It was because I hadn't done it for a while. It felt exciting again.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing it every week, it sort of loses its polish.
Did it take you a few songs to get in the mode? Like,
Well, what's funny? Like, because it was a guest appearance and a one-off, I just loaded up with hits.
Yeah.
I didn't have to play like a resident gig where you have to keep the night flowing. I was just like, I'm going to burn every other DJ here and just play hit after hit after hit.
Sounds like Rosie on SAFM next weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just went in, hour of power, smashed it.
Yeah.
And
well, are you not allowed to play the same song as another DJ in case you play the same song 2 hours in a row?
Yeah, like you might play it twice within half an hour.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it's sort of an unwritten rule.
Yeah, I remember walking to Earth and, like, when we were playing vinyl, and the person before me would play one of the songs that I had in the pre-minded set with the stuff that you brought, and it's just the worst feeling. You just want to, like, literally
punch them in the face.
Yes.
Snap their version of the vinyl.
I've carted 30 kilos of vinyl.
Yeah.
Into this venue, and you've played the one song I just wanted to play.
Yeah, you dog.
Yeah, that cost me $29 from Central Station Records.
Yeah. Do you know what? I got home. I got home at 3.
Yeah.
And I didn't even drink that much. And I was so tired the next day.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's no way I could do this every week again. No way. Kira rolled home about 4:30.
What time did Ollie wake up?
Yeah. No, Ollie was at Mum and Dad's, and I had to go get him about 9:30. So,
like, did you catch a cab home?
Yeah, I did.
What's a cab worth?
Fucking heaps.
Yeah,
it was like $70.
Yeah, far out, man.
Yeah, I tried to catch an Uber, but they just wouldn't connect me to a driver, and I was like, just get me home. And then a normal cab drove past, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go old school here.
I remember when I was catching Ubers to the airport at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Pre-booking?
Yeah, pre-booking. But sometimes before I was pre-booking, I'd just run the gauntlet and I hope that someone was around. And sometimes what do they call it? The charging where they change it.
Oh, the tariff?
With Uber, it's like dependent on how many cars are out and the time of night and how many people are currently available and stuff.
The demand, basically.
Yeah, and it was like, for me to get to the airport, usually it's about $38 from Brighton, which is just a drive down the road. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then, like, there was a few times where it was like $80.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because there weren't enough cars around.
Into the
It's
air.
actually cheaper for you to go park.
Yeah. Yeah, or walk. or catch a plane. Like, to the airport.
Jetstar got $79 sales from Adelaide to Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you $80 to get to the airport from Brighton.
I'm sure there's a Tiger fucking airplane around somewhere that I can borrow
How's
to get to the airport.
How's Bonza going? Is that
Bon-
still a thing?
Yeah, they've like grown massively in the East Coast, like Queensland, New South Wales area.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in where was I? Like Bundaberg or whatever, one of their planes is sitting there, and when how the flight attendant will get on the microphone and say, "Hey, coming up very shortly, like we're going to be opening the gates up." Bonza was like, "G'day guys," like fully.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they had this language thing. It was like full ochre. "G'day guys, get on the fucking thing in about 10 fucking minutes. As long as the kangaroo doesn't take off with it, like all that sort of stuff. Just less swearing."
Remember when Tiger?
Is it Aussie only Bonza?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they would just go everywhere else in the end.
Remember when Tiger first came on board?
Yep.
Pardon the pun.
Ding.
And you didn't get allocated seats? Do you remember that? In their first like year or year and a half, it was like, just get yourself on. And I remember getting on a Tiger plane and I was on early. I was like, fucking, I'm getting row 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I got on early and I sat down and I was so proud of myself and I was the first one on the plane and I was sitting there and this guy comes up to me, he's like, "Mate, you're in my seat." I'm like, "Nah, there's no allocated seats on Tiger." He goes, "Nah, you're in my seat." I said, "No, I'm sitting here." He goes, "All right, well, you fucking fly the plane then."
So I punched him. Well done.
Oh,
Good gag.
That was a good
Matty.
one, Dad.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, jeez.
Thought of it just then.
I feel like you've had that up your sleeve, and Tiger went out of business, and you've just been waiting for the joke.
I reckon
Waiting for a platform
to be
to
honest with
speak
you,
on.
it's the sort of joke that was probably hanging around when Ansett was around. You know what I'm saying?
True, that's
like,
a long time ago.
It's been held onto for a fair bit.
A while.
Yeah, because there was no swearing. There was
Yeah.
no racial slurs.
No.
There was like there was nothing that could incriminate you in any way.
No.
It was clean.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, cha.
Do we sing like
Lullabies.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, they're obviously referencing that my baby has just
Looked tired.
gone into. No, she's like she's
she's
looking at me
hungry.
going, I'm pretty sure
You meant to feed me now.
it's eating time. But I'm trying to distract her so she forgets. Does that work?
No, I never forget when I'm hungry.
Yeah. Never forget.
All right. Well,
You hungry? I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, I really forgot.
if you get busy, you forget.
No,
No?
I eat.
Okay.
No, I mean, I usually
Okay.
replace it with caffeine or one of these fellas.
Oh, what do we got? Scotch?
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just get her. I'll get her an
yeah.
espresso.
Yeah. Take it at
Espresso?
Con and have a scotch.
Yeah. A scotch and a chat.
What is that noise, guys? I can't
taking
see.
care of
It
business.
sounds weird.
No, Andy just handed me a little pre-workout shot. I was just shaking it.
Okay.
Bit of ASMR.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't drink it
Well,
any
I'm
time
gonna
after 11.
Yeah. Okay.
go make a shot of delicious formula.
Sounds good.
All right.
So,
Well, we'll be back on Friday with a
I love
game.
you and leave you.
And we'll
let's
be
do that.
keen to see what happened with the feeding, I guess.
Yes.
Just give us an update.
I'm not giving you an update on the next feed,
forgot.
guys. That is boring.
All right, Matty's taking his headphones off, so I guess we're done.
My name was phones.
But there's so much music to talk over.
No, not
Quick,
anymore.
say something.
All right, go see Connolina at the Prime Trophy Centre. See you, bye.
Thanks for listening to Best Teammates. Follow us on socials and make sure you subscribe.